Hey Weirdos, it's Riot. This is a new series of videos I'm going to be doing for the next month, leading up to Terrible 2-Day Fest, which will be free online on the Riot at the Movies Twitch channel, which we've used only once, so I'll make sure you're reminded and all that jazz when it gets close to it, on May 28th and 29th from approximately 7 till 11 on both those days. It's a Friday and a Saturday. Because not the whole world is all cleared up yet, so there may be some secret HQ meetings of some the regulars for the club getting to see the films together, but outside of that, the rest of it will have to be online, which means anyone can see it anywhere in the world. Just join in, chat on the message board thing, the little chat on the side, and watch the films. We're going to have help from Justin DeClue of Golden Ninja Video. He's going to be helping me VJ it. And if you guys want to help out in some other way, or you want me to promo you, let me know. So anyway, every Tuesday for the next couple of weeks, I will be doing a video, usually, hopefully less than an hour. This one will probably be over an hour because I'll be talking with Justin this time. And we're just going to mess around and talk about the event and talk about stuff catching up since we don't see each other face to face very much. So join us. Listen into our little chat. It begins with me trying to figure out how to do a screen share to test that out. Hopefully in the upcoming videos I'll do it more and play some more silly stuff. Maybe even some special downloads that I'll screen share some stuff that would normally get me copyright busted on YouTube or Facebook or something. Anyway, join us. Already in progress. If I do this,
I'm a two-screen man now, so I could just put it on my second screen. Oh, so I see what you're showing me right now.
you see it.
Yeah.
And we can comment over it because our heads will appear in the corner. So
I'm watching this very low resolution. Oh, maybe it'll look better on your side of things because it's like it's jittery on mine.
Well, it's not jittery.
Oh, wait, is there supposed to be sound? I hear it very faintly, like I'm hearing it through your microphone or your earphones.
Mm.
Did they shoot this movie on VHS?
Yeah.
Wow.
They emphasize it in the trailer by saying shot on video for real, authentic, shitty quality.
Huh. Did you do the voiceover on this trailer?
It does sound like it.
It does, yeah.
But you can tell how I related to this when I saw it. I was like, oh, this movie gets me. Spirit animal.
Yeah, there you go. Macho Man, he's back.
Oh yeah, it's Spirit Animal. Can you dig it? All right, there. Whoa, screen.
Whoa, we're back.
So yeah, all you could see on your screen was just the trailer.
Yeah.
What? Hopefully, when this plays, it'll show us in the corner.
Oh no, I saw us in the corner too.
Oh,
so
did you? I didn't.
That.
I just saw my screen. I could just see what I was playing because it maximized on me. I'm sure I could fix that and figure that out, but I'm not so smart. Anyway, so that's one of the films that we're playing that you will be helping me VJ at Terrible 2-Day Fest.
Right? That's how we VJ.
That's how Much Music did it. They took videotapes and they went rewind, slow down.
I'm like, Justin's dropping the beat, and by the beat I mean Soul Animal Killer.
Notes that they have a shark head killer, so we can never do Awesome Shark now.
Oh, so sad. I have a whole box full of masks I bought ages ago to make a short with animal killers, and I never did. So now I have to do it because I have to.
You can make the soul sequel to it. Yeah. One of the best parts about that movie, though, is they found Toby the Genuine Nerd from the Killer Nerd movies from Trauma.
Oh wow, they got him back,
and he's a voice of a god in that movie. Did you ever see American Splendor?
A long time ago, yeah.
because he's portrayed in that movie because he was Harvey Picar's real life friend.
Mm.
So like, there's an actor that plays him, which is shockingly dead on. I'm getting attacked by my skeleton. I'll move that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that cool skeleton pillow behind you is moving. It's like I want to get you, Adam. Whoa, it's
Huggy,
like baby sized.
yeah, it's a huggy pillow and it glows in the dark. I always forget that. So
Terrifying.
yeah,
Turn the lights off. You're like, "Ah!"
there's a skeleton laying on my couch. Anyway, one of the things that gets me, I hope they will open again, but who knows? Any bar in Toronto well, may not have that issue. But right beside Eyesore is a bar called the John, of all awkward names.
Wait, isn't that big muscular guy that's on the poster like this? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They have other locations that, and they were the ones that's the one they closed up the tightest first. So who knows if they'll ever come back. But inside the bar is an old piano, and on top of that piano is the same shark mask that's used in Spirit Animal. So
What you're trying to say is you want to steal it.
yes, I was going to say I wanted if we were able to do like the real screening and have like people in there. I famously would always run up the back stairs behind the screen and run out during weird parts of movies. So I am really sad that I'll be missing out on being able to do that. I do have like a rubber big shark mask now.
Yeah,
too.
I think you probably buy another big shark mask. They're probably widely available.
Right. It's just funny that it was the same one. It was like a big mascot mask. It was like a three-dimensional, like foam-filled felt mouth mask. So I was like, I don't know where that comes from. It must come from some sort of a mascot, but I'm sure if I asked
Yeah, Sharky, the San Jose Shark mascot or something like that.
Right, yeah, because that's what they did. They had a mask that looked that cheap. I'm sure the San Jose Sharks, or is that, are we just making that up? There is a Sharks, but I'm so
Isn't it the San Jose Sharks? I was a big fan of their logo, the shark that was
sounds
like biting a
yeah,
San Jose Sharks.
It is
it's like biting a hockey stick.
I just know how nerdy I am that like I could just be thinking that, but yeah, no, I know the symbol. I just often make that mistake.
How dare you? They were conference champions in 2015 and 2016. Well, I do not know what that means. What's a conference?
It's where they all wore suits and they sit around. The
yeah,
table
they sit around like we're
so,
Batman.
Sports, huh? Sports. Sports.
Oh, I'm a shark because they're all sharks.
Yeah. They change into
Breed shark. Roar. We're mutants and we never even turn back into humans again.
If Mutant League, any sport existed, you'd pay more attention to sports.
No, I'd probably be like, this is violent. They're killing each other out there. It's horrifying. Based on any Mutant League things I've watched. I play a robot baseball, that NES game. Did you ever play that one?
Is it just called Robot Baseball?
I don't remember what it's called, but all I remember about it was that it was simple, so it was fun. And also, if like two players met on the field, like you could fight. It would switch to like a 2D like fighting like a Street Fighter kind of thing. Yeah, that was fun.
I definitely had like Mutant League, but I had it as hockey. I think you can get football as well. But
I wonder which one was the popular one and which one was the not popular one.
I believe. I'm betting you in America it was football, just in general.
Okay, so it was called Cyber Stadium Base Wars.
Base Wars.
Yeah.
All right, but the Mutant League one, I remember there was a pilot for a cartoon series of Mutant League football, and but I think it was just called Mutant League. But of course, because it was an American cartoon, they didn't play hockey. But it was like only a pilot, and it looks like it's not. It's weird because it's not computer graphics. So when you see like an unfinished computer graphic project, you're like, oh, it needs like one.
Don't you mean Beasties or Beast Wars?
Right,
unfinished computer graphics.
But like that's just because of its time. But like things like the infamous Food Fight movie, where
Dog Detective.
Yeah, where you knew there was like plans for like someone else to go over and go another like rendering level of like textures, and they just ran out of money and didn't do it. That's what the Mutant League cartoon looked like. It looked like that was someone's animation simplified, and then they were going to send that over to Asia to be finished or something, and that never happened.
They're like, good enough.
Yeah, well, I think it might be because it never got picked up for a series. It never became a show or anything.
Are we supposed to be talking about your film festival that you're doing?
Yeah, but this is fun too. We do this. So yes, we're talking about the Terrible 2-Day Film Fest. I'm going to do a video every Tuesday leading up to that on the 28th and 29th of May, which is almost May. It's because
that is definitely in May, the 29th of May.
Right.
Yeah, like almost May. No, I think it's in May.
I mean, right now it's almost May because
Right,
it's the
right, right.
27th of
I know.
April. And it's going to be online. It's going to be free. Justin and I will be the VJs for the night. For the
Wait.
gameplay.
It's called the Terrible Toonie,
No,
right?
2 day
2 day.
fest.
Oh, it used to
Yeah.
be Toonie. You're
No,
like, not
Terrible
anymore.
Toonie was my monthly thing that I did every Tuesday. It
Oh,
was Terrible Toonie Tuesday, and then it was the Terrible 2 day fest was the big yearly thing.
oh, okay.
And in the last 12 months, I haven't done any of those. So
I'm surprised you haven't hosted any online like all
I
the other
did.
freaks doing it. Yeah, you've hosted stuff, right?
Early on, I did, and then I got
Mhm.
really tired of looking at a screen. Like there are people.
It's not as fun, is it, when you host it for like other people and it's like people keep coming in being like, "What's going on? What are you watching? Explain the plot to me." And it's like, "Come on, man."
Catch me up. Yeah, I mean, it was bad enough because we were such a riffing. Like you would do your stuff in a real theater. I'd do my stuff in like a club. So
Mhm.
if people could walk in and we had a whole riffing, humorous mentality, so people would show up late and go, "So catch me up. What happened?" I'm like, "No,
Like, get out.
get the fuck out. Give me your tuning and get back out and leave."
Yeah, you still have to pay, you son of a bitch. You cross that threshold. So wait, what are the
Behind the
movies that are
curtain.
playing this year?
So on Monday, the closing night of Monday will be Psycho Ape. It is a. I'm wondering. It's weird. Psycho Ape's gotten this weird little internet hype behind it because
Psycho Ape. Never heard of it.
there you go.
Other than from you.
Right, the guy who made it, he's. I'll mention it on the day what his touching backstory
This looks
about
up
why
my
he made
alley. It's a guy in a gorilla suit.
it. Right, exactly.
Mm.
He was doing a thing for Troma for a bit where he was riffing their movies like a Mystery Science Theater. He even had like talking puppets.
Are we
And-
gonna need to have a little bit of what is it like? Get some lawsuits out looking at these psycho apes and the way he's using a banana.
Oh yeah, I've mentioned that to him a couple times. I showed him Personal Space Invader after the fact, but I mean, ape suits.
I don't know. He'll be hearing from my lawyers.
His story behind why he made it. Tune in before the movie on that's on the Friday. I'll mention it. I'll probably
Whoa! It's almost the exact same running time as Personal Space Invader as well. 64 minutes.
Well, see, this is the unspoken rule behind the new shot on digital video schlock filmmakers is you don't go over 70 minutes.
I mean, everybody wishes they could, but they can't.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wasn't doing it on purpose, but
How many trailers will be at the beginning of this movie?
this one doesn't have it. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But there's tons of filler. Like because there's a scene where two people talk about Ratatouille, and he just leaves the camera and walks away and lets these two girls talk about Ratatouille for like what feels like 30 minutes, but is like maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, so they achieved the dream that we've talked about before of just like letting the camera roll.
Yeah, like I always think I can do it, and I can't
Mhm.
because time just. I don't know. It stops when you're filming that stuff. Like every second you're counting when you're holding a camera.
Mhm.
It's what feels like, okay, that's good. That was like 5 minutes. And like, no, it was 30 seconds. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure he went through that. One of the things that are also getting him kind of attention to it is when he did his Kickstarter for it, he actually got a fair amount of money because he was kind of a internet known name.
He did?
So yeah,
I want to see how much Psycho Ape made.
I don't know, but enough for him to try to get a couple of actors, and there's this one young girl who would become like a sort of name to the Troma fans. Kansas Bowling is her name, the weird name. So he got her to come to meet him, which he's like a fairly geeky guy like you and I. So and she was in that Veronica movie by Danzig. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's not that's not saying much there, but imagine the kind of like scene she's kind of in. But she became famous because when she was like 17, she directed some caveman comedy movie and sold it to Troma. So it was like 17-year-old girl makes a Troma movie, which she's like learned how to play off that. She's even like a random person in who appears like a couple of times in the background. I think she even says something in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Huh. Well, I'm looking here. He raised $7,000, very respectable. And then he also did a Psycho Ape trading card set, and he raised almost $6,000 for that.
Yeah, and that was after he did his he had to raise a certain amount of money to buy rights to Troma movies so that he could do his Masterpiece Theater. And
He had to
then,
buy rights to Trauma movie. They didn't just give it to him.
well, there's something weird that went on with that, and I don't know the
Mm.
full story, but I'll let him deal with that. You know,
Okay.
stories about Lloyd.
Yeah.
uh,
100-year-old Lloyd.
100
Welcome to Tromaville.
Every time he does a video now on
He's
Instagram,
like, kill me.
well, he has a different injury. The last one he came out, his arm was in a sling.
Like, does
Before-
he owe like money to some grift to some like loan sharks?
He did one when he just came out of the hospital, so he had this like big band-aid on his neck for something. And
Oh no, Lloyd Kaufman is 75 years old.
yes,
Don't make him do that stuff anymore. Don't make him. Welcome to Tromaville.
he does it himself out of his house. He films like himself and his wife, so we now get to see his wife a lot because he's got really bored at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do they even distribute movies anymore?
Well, I'm sure they're not doing a whole lot of the last, like, I mean,
They did the Nobodies. Did you ever see the Nobodies, Adam?
The
It's like a mock documentary about
yeah,
yeah.
wasn't that a pretty known director who did that?
No,
Oh,
the
I thought it
Nobodies.
was.
Maybe you're
Yeah.
thinking of something else. No, it's
Oh.
about like two people who committed suicide and they made like a VHS horror movie, and it's like a documentary, and then you see clips from the movie as it goes.
They released that like years ago, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. 4 years ago, it came
Oh,
out.
really? On that one? Okay. I've not seen it, but I remember
Oh,
like
so
being
good.
an ad for it. I mean, when we think of what have they been doing? Well, what has anybody been doing over the last 2 years? So I mean,
Nothing.
nothing. So yeah,
Only like a year and a couple of months, but it
But
feels like 2
2
years.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he released his own movie, Shakespeare Shitstorm, but that didn't even really. He hasn't even really done anything with that either because he's like, well, if you can't see it, if I can't do anything fun with it, I'm gonna hold on to it. So.
Mhm.
But
So
he did
Psycho
have
8,
one.
that's movie
Yeah.
number 1. Sounds
That's movie
good.
number one. Yeah, thanks for bringing me back into there.
No worries.
Before that, that's actually the last movie. I'm counting backwards on day
Okay.
one. So that's what ends day one. We'll probably do that around like 9:00, 9:30. Since it's only 60 minutes long, we
Yeah.
can work with our time here. Before that will be Spirit Animal that you just saw the trailer for. And before that, at like 7:00, we're gonna play a movie they're all 60 minutes long. That's what's great. About it.
Yeah.
They're all like 65
That's
minutes long.
good because you're like, oh, 60 minutes. I can handle that. It's not like a 20-minute short film where you're like, oh, this is so long.
Yeah.
It's also not like 90 minutes where you're like, oh, God, is this over? It's like 60 minutes.
Well, fear what we're going to play first. Probably around 7:00, I'll do a little intro thing. And then what we'll play after that is a movie which originally I wasn't going to add in, but it's just had this weird haunting effect to me the last little while.
No.
It's only 49 minutes, but it's going to feel longer.
What's it called?
This is Death Toilet.
Death Toilet.
Just the title. Death Toilet, which in the 3 years, and as of next week, will release Death Toilet 4, Death Toilet on a Plane.
So it's good enough that they've made 4 of them.
In the course of 2 years. Where they've just filmed them by themselves. And
so just one person?
well, there's 2 people in each of these movies. In the new
Okay.
one, they made a set of a fake airplane, which I've seen photos of it. I'm like,
I like that.
what did you do that for? And they're kind of interesting. No, they're not. They're not.
But you need to play them.
Yeah.
So is this your new cockface killer?
No, because I feel like when we're doing a terrible 2-day fest, and these guys know it, because they were joking, asking me to review all their movies. They have a Vimeo page where you join it for $2 and you can watch everything they make. And they make like a video, like YouTube stuff, but they're like, their king is their Death Toilet films. And the first one is just barely even a movie.
Oh.
It's just nonsense
Wouldn't
for
you
40
play
minutes.
that the last though? Because you're like the stragglers. It's the one that clears out.
Well, yeah. Well, my original plan was, and this is so we can do stuff and people can come in late and go, what are you guys watching? You don't need to know.
Exactly. You're right. This is a pre-show.
This is a pre-show. Because originally I said to them, my mentality was Ontario wouldn't be as pathetic as it is in the COVID war, and we might be able to do a show. So I was like, I'll stream it, but I won't stream your guys. It'll be a surprise thing that people who show up early for the event could have. But now that's not going to happen at all. So I figured, fuck it, why not show it? Do it as a pre-show thing. People can walk in and see a guy on his knees in front of a toilet that's exploding in his face. And that's
Sounds hilarious.
40 minutes of a guy looking at a toilet that explodes, yelling at it, and then having Nam flashbacks and just cutting to footage from the Vietnam War. And that's all it is.
Wow, these guys made like 4 films about like a killer DV tape. DV1, DV2. Wait, but DV. Oh, they were all made the same year. I was like, DV3 came out before DV1.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. But yeah, they're interesting. They're fun guys, and they know how silly it is. So no matter what we do, if we bash this, people are gonna get it. They're gonna be okay with it. I don't know if you've noticed this as someone who does reviews,
Mm-hmm.
but also kind of knows people in those. I think a lot of like there's all these podcasts out there where people are like, here's a fucking stupid movie. Oh god, this is the dumbest shit I ever seen. Chug back my brew and say fuck this movie and haha, isn't that funny? I can't do that anymore because all these bad movies that are like really bad movies, I know who these people are.
You're too close.
Yeah, and
Did you see the new David Dakota? Ding dong. Oh shit. Tonight's the night David Dakota comes for dinner.
well, I mean, because like this is gonna be on YouTube.
Wait, did you have like a Christmas Carol type situation where it's like, we're the three ghosts of Death's toilet and the cockface killer? How dare you make fun of us, madam?
If Brett Kelly was dead, that's what would happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, Brett Kelly. Hey.
I like
Ottawa's own hometown boy.
I like talking to him. I love his ideas, but I've said it, and like I can't.
I think we've talked about this before, but like Brett Kelly came. It wasn't my class; it was the other class. But he brought a clip from his remake of Kingdom of the Vampires, and he made a whole college class have to rescore it, like do the sound effects. I'm sure he's like, yeah, let's do the sound effects and give it to me later, please. He's like, free labor.
What is he, the guy who made Things? Like the stories I could go on about him with his Wicked World movie.
Oh no, not the guy who made Things. Yeah. Don't say his name 3 times, he'll appear. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, he was in the pillow all along. I try to do a thing where, like, when I write reviews on Letterboxd, if it's like a mini no budget movie, and like I give it less than, if I give it 3 stars and under, no star rating, and I try not to be too mean because. Why?
That's why I don't do Letterboxd because I don't want to do the star rating.
Well, you don't have to. You can just write reviews or even not write anything.
One of the last reviews I got in the movie I'm not going to play at the festival. And I wouldn't.
Personal Space Invader.
I reviewed my own film, but
it has a Letterboxd page. You see somebody made a poster for it, which is just the art of Personal Space Invader 1, and they put a 2 in it. On the Blu-ray. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it deserves. The movie, it was called Showman's Unrest. I don't know. I sort of know what the title is. Yeah, but it was a bunch of guys who were in the tape trader scene, and they just made a film where they just got really high and they just overlapped stuff as they filmed. So at certain parts, their talking purposely goes out of sync. Over effects start to overlay. Scenes tend to screw up. Like they think it's really funny, obviously, and it gave me a headache to watch it. But I knew that they knew that. But they were nice guys. They sent it to me. They were really funny about it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to write a review that makes it sound like the breakdown I'm having when watching this and the pain that it's giving my eyes is funny. And, and I know how to do that. I mean, the third review for Death Toilet 3, I just said, this is what I think about Death Toilet 3. And for like a paragraph, I just wrote, fart. Oh, no, fart. Yeah, I mean, I watched all 3. God knows why, but they're like 40 minutes long.
And you made other people watch them too. You can't help yourself.
I will be. I will be on Friday the 29th at around 7 o'clock.
Tune in. It's free. Death Toilet.
Way to sell it. But if you stick around, you then get Spirit Animal, which is a great homage to SOV. It's like the early stuff of Polonius, like the shirt you're wearing. It's a lot of fun. It really gets it. And the psychedelic just comedy movie for fans of MS3TK, which is what he's all about. That's what Psycho Ape is. That's day 1. Then day 2, we get 2 predominant ones. One, but the beginning of it will be the longest film of the night, will be from our friend Ben from Hamilton Trash Cinema with Muzzle Flash, which I've said was Lethal Weapon meets The Amazing Bulk. It's a Polichetti film, but done all in like MS Paint special, green screen effects.
All edited and comped from his bed on his like 10-year-old laptop that he edits on.
Yeah, I mean that's all I use, so I appreciate it. But his level of like acceptance humor and just going with it.
Like, he's very funny.
There's moments where he you think someone would be like, okay, we should hold it back a bit, and he just doesn't.
Has he ever shown you the possession film that he made that he shot in one night with like a bunch of women, and
The
he plays
mannequin one, like
yeah, the mannequin one.
yeah, no, that one I haven't seen because we wanted to play that at last year's festival, but
Yeah, but he's
again,
like, there's no score, right? Because he never
right.
wrote one.
He says I have to come in and play it on piano, like one of those Nosferatu screenings, and I'm like, oh, that'd be amazing, but there was no guarantee we could get him because like the week it was happening is when the world started hearing about COVID. So we're like,
Right.
guys who are outside of Toronto, don't bother. So yeah, so I said no. Instead, I played the one that he did all in Google Transcript into Italian,
Spanish.
That
That's a
that
fun one too.
was also a possession film, which has all I'll say, and I've linked because he has it online just to watch for free, which I always link on the Facebook page. It has the most unexpected ending.
Oh, it has a good ending. I helped write that killer mannequin film because I went over to his house for a day and we just like wrote 30 pages. And then he shot it like a week later.
Is it one of those things where you thought to yourself, did it need to be 30 pages?
Well, he wanted it to be an hour. He's like, I want this to be an hour. And he shot it all on his mini on his VHS camera. But what happened was like he had like 5 people lined up to come, and like 3 of them dropped out the day of. So he plays one of the roles, like talking like this, and he shot himself like weeks later, kind of like reacting to the people, wrapped in bandages, because we had just watched Bone Sickness. So we kept going, bone sickness, bone sickness. So throughout the film, he's like, I have brain sickness.
Hang on. One thing before we mention day 2, there's one other thing I got to show you, which is something I'm going to do in each of the videos, each of the Tuesday videos leading up to the event. I'm going to just show, it's a stealing from another podcast of nice things that were sent to me by people, which I've had a few random cool things sent to me by viewers. And
you have a DVD of Bone Sickness?
No, I do. I already have a DVD of Bone Sickness.
Don't we all?
When we were filming Assault on Snake Men, you said to me, hey, Adam, you know what's cool? Bone sickness. And I almost slapped you because I remember many years ago, we were sitting in
Eyesore?
No, it wasn't Eyesore. It was at the Bovine, and it was playing on the TVs in there. And I was like, man, it's Bone Sickness. I love this movie. And you're like, oh god.
Yeah, I have cosmic brain now. Now I enjoy everything.
Now I enjoy everything. Yeah. So, well, let's question that. I'm gonna send these to you.
Wait, no, now I'm thinking about Bone Sickness. Don't you just see zombies walking around for the last half hour?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Those guys did some other movies that I really love, but that's for another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But this was sent to me. This guy made movies called Homicide McCloud, which they are available on the Troma Now app, but because they're like not getting paid for it, having it there, if you go to homicidemcloud.com, you can just watch both the movies for free there too.
Oh, I want to watch that. That sounds good.
2 is personally my favorite. Homicide Never Dies. It's imagine if you and I, when we were making Personal Space Invader, we were much tougher people and just more badass and more willing to swear and more willing to be like kind of controversial in the stuff we do.
Can friggin' swear. I don't want to do it because it's a cheap joke.
I mean, everything about these movies is a cheap joke.
Okay.
Basically, it's a young cop whose dad is basically Shaft, and we don't know if he was adopted or not, because why his dad is like a big tough like black guy who's like 1970s jive talking, and he's obviously like a 90s scrawny little white guy, but he teaches him how to be a tough cop, and random other police officers are furries for no reason because it may or may not be them in masks.
Yeah,
their science officer at their like special agencies of codename Squad Homicide, which is the police unit they work for, is an inflatable sex doll, but has like a really funny voice, and all the characters are given really like legit characteristics. For a little while you forget the gimmick of like, oh, he's obviously wearing a mask because that's probably Homicide again, Homicide McCloud just wearing a mask. But it seems like that's their world. They live in sort of a BoJack Horseman world.
Yeah.
And after the first 5 minutes of it, and there's one, there are women in this movie. So my first thought was they didn't have any girls to show up for it. But in the second one, there's a predominant female character that's just a mannequin that someone's obviously shaking the legs, and it's off camera going, "What do you mean? My name's Kelly." But they were just aware of it now, and they're like, okay, it was obviously done as a joke the first time because we didn't have any cast. Now in the sequel, they do have cast, but they still choose to do it. Um, when watching both of them back to back at a very early 4 o'clock in the morning one night, I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I haven't gone back after a good night's sleep to rewatch it, so I don't know if I'm totally correct or not. But I do recommend. I'm not going to put them in the festival because you can see it for free off their own website, homicidemcleod.com, anytime. I totally recommend them, at least from the experience I had. Day two, we'll wrap this up, is, as we said, was Muscle Flash by our good friend Ben. And then a movie called Freak. Freak is a legit horror film. Again,
Freaked?
But no D. It's the Freak. You don't get freaked.
Oh, okay.
And it's
so no stop motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is for like a second or two in it because
I'll take a second.
It's basically like a 60-minute Hills Have Eyes. So it's your generic like freak in the woods thing.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of just getting a guy who's a hillbilly, they made this huge puppet that this obviously a guy in a green suit is wearing with giant arms.
I really like that. Wait, what is it called? Freak?
Freak. Just Freak.
Oh, there's a million films called Freak.
That's the problem. There is. This was just released last year. Lucky Soretti is the name of the director for it. He's just started a production company because he kind of lives in the boonies in the States. And he's been meeting with a lot of people to start doing new films. He's been showing me some of the footage of his upcoming film.
And this looks like awesome. That creature looks great.
He's jumped the level of production since Freak looks amateur in comparison to what he's making now. And it's only been like a year and a half since then. It's really good. Like no point even explaining the story. Like the story is exactly what you know about a bunch of people go backpacking and they camp out in the woods. One guy's a jerk, one girl's the slutty girl, that kind of stuff. Silent Gesundheit.
And I turn my mic off like a professional videocaster or VJ.
Yeah. No, I just go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like you just did now.
Yeah, that wasn't a sneeze. That was acting. But anyway, the monster is so different. They don't hold back, but they also don't milk it. So again, you're gonna have to wait to see, and that's why I'm having that close tonight because it's the slickest of all the films. It's just shockingly really gross.
Well, I don't know. Gross things may turn my stomach.
Yeah. No.
Oh no, it's a death toilet.
Bone sickness. Yeah. And I know he's definitely fans of Bone Sickness, but this is not shot on video. And well, it is, I guess. It must be. Like, what isn't these days?
It's shot on digital, yeah.
Yeah, but it's on a higher quality digital. It doesn't look like a palm quarter or something.
Yeah, it looks more like Sex Squatch 2.
Yeah. Sex Squatch 2.
What was the second one? What was the subtitle of that one?
Teen Ape versus Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, oh man, this looks great and gross. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to all those movies. Anybody listening to this, if you're this deep into it, you're gonna watch all these movies. Come on.
In between it, though, I'm playing a 25-minute short film that is the death toilet for day two. It's called McMurderer, and it's just a weird experimental film that somebody made in their basement with a green screen and a set on fire couch, and they peed on the floor and eat some French fries and said,
"You're saying words. I don't know."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what it is. And when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, that random babble that Adam just said. Now it makes sense." The movie doesn't. Makes sense. Yeah, only for true trash humpers out there is McMurderer relevant.
Okay. Is that what you guys call each other now? Trash humpers.
Trash humpers. Like if you want like garbage, like purposeful like trash garbage, that's what this was made for. It became like a talk for like 5 minutes on the internet because the person who made it, by their secret artist name Janice Co, Janice Co was they made them on VHS tapes that were yellow with a red clip on the top of it and had the McDonald's symbol on it, as if it had something to do with McDonald's, but it doesn't. But
I get yellow VHS. I want yellow VHS.
Yeah, and that's once they ran out of the yellow VHS, they weren't making it anymore. You could get special editions that came in a Happy Meal box that had little toys in it.
How could people afford to do all this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you had to pay for it,
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, and it was just a weird. They're an artist, and it's a weird art thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do stuff.
Yeah, as I look around and see the million copies of Blu-rays that I'm making.
You want to? Well, I know we both want to go out and film again, but
Yeah, I definitely want to film again. Oh man, I got a sweet new camera, Adam. And everybody listening is like, what are they talking about? A beautiful autofocus. So no one has to set focus ever again. It like locks onto the eyes. No more soft footage. As a friend of ours said during Personal Space Invader, I know when someone other than Justin was holding the camera because suddenly everything is kind of soft.
yeah. And that's why you notice in the second movie that it's all that way.
Yeah, I hate setting focus. It sucks. Anyway,
but let's talk about that. You're helping me out, so of course a big part of this is going to be brought to you by Golden Ninja Video. So you are releasing stuff. You've been doing it consistently through all this madness. What's something you'd like to tell us about coming up?
Well, I can give a super secret reveal that I have not announced yet. So only the real hardcore heads are going to be doing this. And it's also related to stuff that Adam is putting out because I don't have a date yet, but soon we'll be releasing Dinosaurs in a Mining Facility. Adam knew this.
Do we have cover art yet? Do we have anything like that?
No, we don't have cover art, but I can tell you that there will be a 2.5-hour documentary for the movie. And I've watched it and it is amazing. Like it's so good. Like so much work has gone into this documentary.
I mean, when Jordan, who
wrote, directed, acts in the movie.
Yeah. The movie, yeah. We made that a bazillion years ago and just did it as like a practice thing. Since then, his world has changed, and these little tiny videos he's been making for fun.
They're so good.
He does stuff for his local library to have like online content for them, and they're amazing. And so when this is all over and he goes back, whoa, hit my camera. When he goes back out to film something, it's gonna blow our fucking mind.
Well, that's the thing is that the documentary is all made up of like new interviews he shot. He shot on like 2 cameras, like in front of a green screen. There's like, it's so complicated and so slick.
Yeah.
Like going through the process of making this movie. He's been working on this movie, I think, from like 2014, if not earlier than that. He gave me like a timeline of it. It's like, it's insane. I mean, if people missed, unless because if you don't live in Toronto, Dinosaurs in a Mining Facility, it is such a funny movie. So good.
I mean, we screened it at like December 2019.
Did he reach out to you?
Yeah.
Say, can you play my? How did he hear about your thing?
I don't know. I have no idea. Just literally, as I always say, when I get these messages, they're like at 2:00 in the morning. Somebody on Instagram just goes, boop, and I read it, and they say, "Hey, can I send you this movie?" And I'm like, "Sure, whatever." I am doing things for a festival. And then I saw it and died laughing that I woke up my girlfriend.
Dinosaurs in a mining facility.
Point Dexter. Like,
yeah, Poindexter.
Who's doing
I recently said Poindexter when recording like a video essay, and then I remembered it was because I'm sure it's been baked into my brain from watching Dinosaurs in a Mining Facility.
You can notice a little bit how his brother ages through those scenes. Yeah. His brother plays the main character, but not much. Like you don't.
There's dinosaurs in the mining facility.
I don't know if you are aware of this, but
yeah, such a funny movie. Yeah. It's another one too that when you watch it at first, you're like, are they in on the joke? Like, do they not know what they're doing? Because like the production value is so low, but it doesn't take long for you to be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Which is why I think the handful of people, he hasn't sent it to a lot of people.
But... Yeah, you think that the film festival after 5 minutes are like, no, thank you, and they turn it off.
Well, the thing was that COVID happened, and the couple that did say yes to them, he did a couple of them online. I got to watch it online with some people.
But even before that, he went to a few film festivals, but he should have been in more, I think. Yeah.
I don't feel like he sent it to that many people because he hasn't sent it to too many like bloggers or reviewers or anything like that. But once the movie's out with you releasing it, I'm sure you're going to see it around a lot because there's going to be 2 worlds of people getting it. Like I talked about those bloggers who are just like, let's get drunk and watch a dumb film. We like dumb shit. And then there's film nerds who actually want to talk about a bad film or a low budget weird film. Both of those are going to like it because the broskies are going to love it because it's hilarious and it is stupid. But then the film nerds are going to love
clip art of the dinosaurs just walking. And it's just like 30 of them.
And there's going to be so many people who are going to watch it and make fun of it, but there's going to be an equal amount of people who are going to be like, oh, I get it.
And I think that the people who are like, oh, this is bad, ha, 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 like, I think it'll be like, oh, wait, no, this is good. If you know what I mean.
Even if they don't, they're still going to love it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you ever what's Despiser? Have you seen that film?
No.
Just look it
Oh,
up.
yes, yes, yes.
It's a super
Despiser. Is that
CG.
the one where they're like in the CG hell dimension and it's like
Yeah,
2 hours long?
and
I have it on DVD. Yeah.
it has the like evil troll doll that fights him at one point in it,
Mhm.
and like people know what that director was trying to do. Failing at, but they know what he was trying to do. There's a lot of passion, so people respect him for that. But then other people talk about it, going, "This is so funny because it's so stupid." But in the
Mhm.
long run, he's
You
selling
watched it.
DVDs. They're watching it.
Yeah.
He's selling DVDs. He's getting it on the events. People are talking about it constantly. So it's he's laughing to the bank on it.
Well, I mean, like Jordan, the director of Dinosaurs in a Mining Facility, it feels like an internet company. Like if they see it, they would like swoop in and like hire him to do like commercials
Mhm.
or like ads, because that's exactly like his perfect like comedic style is honed into that kind of stuff.
And there's that whole post Tim and Eric like
Yeah,
ironicness that's around
it's
right
kind
now.
of like that. I
I
think
don't
it's
feel
funnier
Yeah,
and more
me too.
sincere.
Because I don't think he did it to be ironic.
Yeah.
But people do want that, so I'm sure people will be like, "Oh, come and help us and do stuff." Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a big thing for him. But what about outside of that with your you got your public domain things that you're releasing that anything fun that's what'd you do this month? You were slacking this month, right?
No, I wasn't slacking. I did 3 releases this month. I did a sword and sandal film from Italy called Fury of Achilles.
That's what I
I
was getting thinking of. Yeah.
I did Kung Fu Wonder Child, classic of what the film cinema. Have you seen Kung Fu Wonder Child?
No, I haven't. I know
Oh,
all
that's a
about
fun
it,
one.
but I haven't seen it yet. So I will.
And I also released another new one, Killer Queen, a film
Right.
shot by an Iranian director in Toronto on Super 8.
When was that made? Because I was looking at that. And
It
seeing
looks like the
after that.
80s. It was made like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. But
Yeah.
that's the wonder of Super 8, and if it's the right
Exactly.
aesthetic, yeah. That's cool. I'd seen a couple of people posting about that because that was the cover alone was getting some good respect.
Yeah, Andrew Barr's cover is awesome for that.
give a
I mean, he
shout
does
out-
almost all of our stuff.
To Andrew's book.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Did you get it yet?
No, I haven't. I only saw him
It's
post.
like, you're
about
not
2
making
days
money.
ago. Well, no, I'm gonna, but I only saw him post it like 2 days ago.
Oh, like I flipped through the book after he sent me the finished copy, and I was like, "There's so many amazing posts. Like when you see them all
Yeah.
like back to back, all the work that he did, it's crazy.
Because like he did all the events for you, but he did all the events for everybody at the.
He
Royal.
did all the events for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Neon Dreams guys. Do you do stuff for Eastern too? Like
Yep, he did
yeah.
Eastern Promises. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
did like a Lone Wolf and Cub
Right,
one. He did
yeah.
like a Shogun Assassin one as well. So
Yeah,
I know
so-
those are the same movies, but there was 2
Oh.
different events. Yeah.
Yes. Those who know when they talk about people screening those films.
Yeah, if people want like an amazing poster book of posters you have never seen before that are completely original,
Mhm.
search. I think it's just Andrew Barr versus the movies in Amazon. You can find his book there. It's
Yep.
great. It's really well laid out. There's like 15 written pieces by all the programmers that program his stuff as well. So
Ooh, do you have a written part in it?
I do. Me and Peter
Oh.
have a fake laser blast intro at the in the book.
Nice. I have on my wall still his Nemesis poster and the
Oh.
Empire of the Dark poster.
Oh, that Empire! I think I have both of those on the wall too.
Actually,
Those posters are-
Empire wasn't him. Now that I think about it, was it?
No, Empire of the Dark was who
His
was
was Nemesis though.
Yeah, he did Nemesis. That Nemesis poster is amazing as
Mhm.
well. No, because Empire of the Dark was done by the comic book artist who did what is it, like Night Thriller, Night Killer? He's like a Toronto guy as well. And I don't remember who he did like a really funny
I didn't recognize the style, but I knew
fake
that wasn't
80s comic, which ends with like the hero like having gay sex at the end of the book, like for like pages and pages.
pages
It's really
and
funny.
pages.
Yeah. Oh, pages and like really graphic. Like that's the joke. And it ends with like the hero like taking over the world and having like a lizard people army. It frustrates me that the poster has to.
He's
appear at that.
Republican? What?
No,
All right, he's
Benjamin
liberal.
Mara is his name.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
come on.
did Night Business, and it's Terror Assaulter, one man. What is it? One Man War on Terror is the other graphic novel. So would highly recommend both. of them.
Night Business alone sounds like it might be slightly dirty.
Oh, it is. It's about like prostitutes being killed by like a slasher, like a nail gun massacre, like helmet on kind of guy. So
There
yeah.
was recently a comic book. I got the first 2 issues of it. It was just called like New York Maniac, and it wrote Maniac to look like the movie Maniac.
Oh no,
Um,
it's isn't it Maniac of New York? Because it's
Right.
written by Elliot Kalin. The
Yeah,
guy who
but-
does Flophouse and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Was it? Oh, yeah. I knew the Flophouse connection that they were doing something there. But I don't know. It did nothing for me. I was
Yeah, a little slow. Like
yeah.
I wanted, like I read the first 3 issues, and it's like, you could have done this in an issue and a half. Come on,
Yeah, I
man.
only got
Yeah.
the 2. I didn't even get the 3rd issue because of
Mhm.
that. But it had this cool covers, so I was really into
It
it.
has awesome cover. It has really good art.
Yeah.
Lots of like standing around and talking. I'm like, come on, get to the maniacing.
Yeah, it feels like the comic books that are made out of Ian Rankin's like noir thrillers. Like there was that wave of I don't know if you're familiar with the crime novels Ian Rankin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he had a bunch of like I think he was involved with like 100 Bullets and things like that as well. But that sort of art, but it was like this is trying to be noir art.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's cool in a
I like
poster.
the
But
premise of
it doesn't
Maniac in New
move.
York. The idea that like Jason got to New York and they just can't stop him. Like,
Yeah, and he's anybody. Yeah,
yeah.
like he's not a person. It's like it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
That'd have been cool, but again, it was through a lot of talking heads.
Yeah, I think it was almost like too serious. It's like goof this up a little bit.
Because the
Like at
premise
one point,
itself was super goofy, but then
yeah,
the fact that they played it like a drama was
at one
yeah, I
point
didn't
they
get it.
talk about like he's been killing people like over the decades. Like, give me a page of montages of that happening.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
and maybe when it's done as like
Maybe it'll work
as a
like as a
volume,
trade. Yeah.
maybe it will. But as picking up those 2 issues over that period over 2 months, I lost interest right away, which is too bad. Which then leads me to read way too many anthropomorphic independent comic books out there, and the guys at Beguiling think that's my thing.
Do they? Are they
Yeah,
like,
they like they'll mention to me sometimes, "Hey, we got another comic book of
wait,
people
how do
who are
you buy
horses."
comics from Beguiling, like single issues? I'm like, do you order them from online or?
Sometimes, but if you go to the store, their front window is the rack of all of them, and that little
Oh.
peanuts window. They go, give me a number 3 from the window. What I've also done with them is I've messaged them and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna come by with $20. Go to your 50-cent bin, fill up $20 of whatever you want. I'll give you $20. You give me a mystery bag of shit."
Because did you read that new Ultra Man ripoff comic, Ultra Mega? It's really good.
No, because they do have the Ultraman comic that's out.
It's not
Right?
that one. It's called
Oh,
Ultra Mega. He looks like Ultraman, but it's like violent and dark, but really fun.
oh,
And it actually moves. The first issue is like 80 pages, and it like tells one whole story. And essentially, it seems like the next issue is like a sequel to that issue.
huh. That's cool. I'll look into it. It does sound like up my alley.
Yeah,
With
they're
my
like,
excitement of Shin Kamen Rider,
oh, I'm excited. There's already a Shin Kamen Rider though. Come on, people, from the
like
90s. Have you ever seen it?
Kamen Rider J.
No, it's called Shin Kamen Rider, and it's like an
Oh,
hour long one. It's called like Shin Kamen Rider Prologue. It's the one that the clip always goes around where it looks like the Fly, where he's like, oh, and he's transforming. And he looks like,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's how J begins, which was made around 1990.
I think Jay, he's like a mantis guy, right? Because he's green.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
whole like terrible, like painful transformation the first time when
The
they.
same special effects guy worked on Jay and Shin Kamen Rider, Kita Amamiya. So that would
Oh,
be the connection.
but it's
there.
actually
Yep.
called Shin. I'm surprised I didn't catch. Maybe I just mixed it up with other stuff. But yeah, there's been a couple of those like hyper real. What if Kamen Rider was more Guyver? And they're all like 60-minute one-offs, which get really goopy.
Yeah, real gross. I'm excited for if it ever comes out, Shin Kamen Rider. Well, I mean, Shin Ultraman's still sitting there waiting to come out. So
I mean, but the world, and yeah, but like Shin Godzilla, it'll be like super hyper political, and it'll be political referencing
well,
things
so
we
will
don't
Shin
get.
Kamen Rider. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Shin Kamen Rider will be that way, and it'll be like a bunch of stuff we don't get.
I get it all.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. I think they delayed Shin Ultraman, and they're like, we don't even know when we're releasing it. It's delayed indefinitely.
But they should cross over.
What?
They should all cross over in the Shin
Yeah,
universe.
like one big Mega Monster battle movie.
Yeah, Godzilla
like
versus
that.
Ultraman finally, but only in Shin form.
Yeah, so they don't really fight.
Well,
They just stand
yeah,
at each other and like energy blasts.
yeah, and they're all really skinny and like fucked up.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine
emancipated.
like yeah, how could Shin Ultraman not look like he's dead while fighting if he's Shin
I feel like the
Ultraman?
Shin Ultraman one's gonna be more straight than Shin Godzilla.
Well, you know me, I don't enjoy much straight stuff. So
Ayo!
anyway, with that, we'll talk about stuff later on to the point. This is thank you very much for helping out, Justin.
No problem. I'm glad
Um,
people could listen to us talk about how you can buy comics in Toronto.
Yeah, too bad you got stuck because I'm not cutting it out.
No.
This episode's been brought to you by Gold Ninja Video and The Beguiling
Yeah, that's right.
on Queen Street in Spadina.
Creature's still open. Go up to the window,
Yeah,
knock, be like, "Let me in," and then they won't. because we live in a plague zone.
And if you're not from Toronto, Google their window because it's really funny. Well, what they did to the front of their store.
Adam,
Like,
Adam, can't
yeah?
you get your vaccine now? Aren't you invincible because you're over 50?
I'm on a waiting list. All the ones local ran out. I lined up.
Wait, you didn't make a joke that I said you were over 50?
Over 50. Oh, I didn't catch that. I'm over 40 now. So.
Yeah, I know.
And so now we can do that. But you youngins can't. You got to wait.
Nope.
Actually, I think it went to 35 today.
I didn't see that. Really?
I think that's what for Toronto, a good chunk of them, or at least maybe hotspots are 35. I don't know.
But did you hear? They're like, if you're on a waiting list, just go in and ask if they have.
Yeah, which I probably should. I went to 2 different places nearby me that were like, you can just come in, and they had lineups, and they ran out while I was in the lineup twice.
Oh, that sucks.
So that's why I'm not
so
in the
close yet
habit
so
that.
far.
Yeah, I don't want to line up with a bunch of people who are obviously not vaccinated.
But all those sickos.
Yeah, but I did it. But
has our friend Duncan gotten the vaccine? He's like over 60.
I hope so. It just goes up and up and up in numbers. Yeah. I hope so.
I'm always going to be younger than both of you.
Until we die.
Yeah. And then I can become older. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. There only can be one. You're like the fucking Highlander.
No.
Justin McLeod.
Wait, no, there's another Highlander. He was buried under some bricks, so we didn't know he was there.
Right.
Like Highlander 3, Mario Van Peebles.
Oh, man. I bet you that's what the new Mortal Kombat's like.
I watch a new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all you gotta say.
That's all I got.
Is that in your 3 movies?
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that kind of stopped.
Yeah, basically it felt like homework every week, and that was the issue, which was like...
Well, movies have been rough right now.
I mean, it's like I'm watching 3 movies. Usually there's one I want to watch. Sometimes there's none I want to watch, and I have to review 3 of them, review them in front of the camera, and then edit the video and post it and get clips and posters and...
Before I end this whole rant that what I said was going to be short and it's not, but I'm going to end it with this thought. With the pandemic, with a lot of these movies ending up on streaming sites, like movies that were not supposed to be Netflix movies, but ended up at Netflix, movies that were not supposed to be HBO originals, but ended up on HBO originals, the amount that you've watched in the last little while, do some of them feel like they were originally like Netflix originals? There's these big, expensive movies, but when you watch them, you're like...
Oh, yeah, Mortal Kombat takes place in like one room.
Yeah,
for most of the movie.
Well,
so yeah,
examples for me, and I think I got this because I watched a movie that you didn't like on your review, but then I watched it anyway. The movie that Tom Holland did about the PTSD soldier.
Awful. Yeah.
But it's huge. Like the movie.
Yeah, because it was the Russo brothers joint.
It was
Cherry. It was called
them throwing away money that they made off Endgame and doing whatever they wanted to do. It's so huge.
Nobody told them no.
Right. That's a perfect example of what you said on there. But when you watch it, it's like it's so huge. But I can't imagine this not being on Netflix.
I know what you mean.
Like it feels like it was never going to be anything.
I think that like a Netflix thing is, for a while Netflix was like, oh, just go do whatever you want to the directors, and they're like, yeah. And then you were getting filmed for like 2 hours and 15 minutes. That could have easily been like 90 minutes. That was clear they took no notes, did no test screenings. Just nobody gave them any advice, and they're like, "Oh, I'm great. I can." And you watch the movies, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
And that's where people are like, it's so great that like Snyder was able to make the film, the Justice League that he wanted to. He didn't have a studio telling him no this time. Like, dude, sometimes neither were good, but sometimes business people actually do need to tell you what you're doing is out of fucking control. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, there's a room for that. Like there's not, when a movie's been chopped to shit by a studio.
Yeah.
You also know when a guy's been like, I'm making my movie with millions of dollars, tossing dollars and jerking off. Yeah. I'm just tossing money and jerking off at the same time. That's it. And I've seen that a lot. It feels like the movies I've been watching the last like 2 years have been either one or the other. I haven't seen really many that I've been like, oh, that's going to be a movie that's going to stand the test of time. Because I've become anal and jaded, but I feel that's not the case. I feel that it's really been this world that it's been either all studio or no studio, and it's too bad. But
I saw the new animated film that's opening on Netflix, Mitchell's versus the Machines. Excellent. You'd like him, from the guys who made Cloudy's a Chance of Meatballs and Into the Spider-Verse and all that other stuff.
That's good. Spider-Verse is weird. at first I thought this was going to look like, the way it kind of looked with its kitschy animation. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is going to be a animated movie that's not going to be epic. It's just going to feel like a gimmick, and it wasn't. It was really good.
Yeah, I remember when I saw the first trailer, I'm like, oh, this looks wrong because they like left frames out to give it like a glitchy kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it works in the movie.
I keep thinking that with the new DC ones too. But I have a feeling I'm really gonna like World War II that comes out next month.
World War II. What's World War II?
Flash goes back in time and gets stuck with the Justice Society, and he has to like hide while they.
Is that an animated film?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't liked a DC animated film in like a decade, and they used to be the kings. They used to make the good ones.
If it's not Batman, I've liked it.
You know what? I actually like the Batman one they did with Richard Dragon. And like
that wasn't bad. Yeah, I like
Tiger and stuff like that. That one was fun.
The ones that have like kind of done their own thing. I liked Apocalypse. I liked Apocalypse War, whatever. And I even liked Man of Tomorrow. That the Superman that's kind of based off the writings of Landis's dickbag son.
Max Landis.
Yeah, it's based off something he wrote, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't it like American Alien was his comic.
Maybe I don't know.
I think that's what it was.
It was a concept of about being a citizen of Earth, a new telling of Superman's early days.
Oh my god, I don't need any more new tellings of Superman's early days.
And you don't. And when I also saw it, it's the beginning of DC's new kitsch animation. They've got this real kind of like Art Deco style that they're trying to go for the next couple of films, and this was the first one of that. And when I saw the trailer, I'm like, ugh, story I don't care about. Art style that's going to just be in your face all the time, but I really liked it. I that's all I can say is I really liked it. So animation has been 10 times better for me in the last 2 years than pretty much any like major live action film, which is too bad because I can be easily pleased sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna scratch my nose. I'm gonna take
that's the trick to get out of here.
Yeah. I'm like bewitched. I think I mixed I Dream of Jeannie.
No, they're for the 50 plus viewers out in the audience.
For all those people already vaccinated, here's a reference to both I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched.
Yeah, that's what for now we call them the already vaccinated folks.
We used to call them boomers, now we call them the vaxxers. All right, well, thanks again, Justin. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.